Testing, testing. What is going on, YouTubers? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review. This will be your Impact Bound for Glory 2020, uh, we're taking the results of it. The show from October 24th, 2020 in Nashville, Tennessee, I meant to say. For some reason, I was going to say Jacksonville, Tennessee, because I'm thinking about, AEW, which tends to them being in Jacksonville, Florida every time. But no, Nashville, Tennessee for Impact Bound for Glory 2020 at the Skyway Studios. Your commentators were Josh Matthews and Don Callis. Matt Rain was on commentary too, but only for the Knockouts Championship. In fact, if she was going to be only on commentary, instead of not being in the pick your, what's the match called again? Pick your shot. Yeah, the pick your shot gauntlet match. She should at least commentate in that match too, because it also included the knockouts. But yeah, that's not a hero there. She was there just to commentate one match. In fact, if they want to do something more romantic Rain on the show, they could at least have her be the host. And while you're at it, have Mr. Santos be a host along with Master Rain, co-host for February 2020, versus them doing whatever. And you can still have Gia Miller or do interviews backstage. You know, as a matter of fact, I don't remember if I seen much of Gia Miller doing any interview at all on the show. In fact, I don't remember if she was even on the show at all. But not here or there. I digress. You know. So yes, unfortunately, no crowds for Bound for Glory. Unfortunately, my theory is because the government of Tennessee still will not be able to prevent anyone to come in indoors to any venues at all of any kind of sort whatsoever. Again, that's my theory. I really don't know much about what's going on with Tennessee during this whole pandemic going on. But if that's the case, then that's why that's why they're not doing anything with chance of having crowds. Um, Hopefully they do eventually in 2021. And there's a lot to talk about rotation 2021 as well. Um, so yeah, before we get to the show itself, um, just want to bring up something that that was mentioned on the show tonight. I mean, not tonight. Last night, I might say. Um, so they made an announcement that Impact is going to be doing another pay-per-view in I believe in January. Uh, I could be wrong, but I could swear they said something about it was in January of the 7th and of 2021, and they're going to be doing another pay-per-view, and it's going to be Impact Hard to Kill. They did it last time, which it was not too long ago, and they're going to do it again. So yeah, Hard to Kill is going to be one of the permanent pay-per-views moving forward for Impact Wrestling. Hard to Kill was a success, especially when it comes to Venture defeated Sammy Callahan to be an Impact World Champion, and other things that happened on the show too as well. Pertains to that, you know, with North retaining, Valkyrie retaining, um, and as far as pertains to the exhibition, Ace Austin also retained on that show too as well. And yeah, there you go. Nothing much to say about it. But yeah, but they're gonna be returning once again to Hard to Kill. Speaking of Hard to Kill, also pertains to Hard to Kill, it's gonna be the return of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships. All I can say is better late than never. They were teasing it this past summer, pertains to the whole build up for its anniversary. Still waiting for the return of Aces and Eights, though. Remember that whole teaser that D'Lo Brown did on Impact Wrestling, where it pertains to Scum, and then later on the show, it ended up being the ending of the show where he's like, we gotta bring the band back together, and then he leaves his chair, and then dum 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 dum, you see the cut of the Aces and Eights vest. He takes it, and then that was the last time we seen him. We haven't heard from him ever since. I don't know if he's building up Aces and Eights. I don't know if they're still planning on doing Aces and Eights, but I'm still waiting for that to happen. Just saying. But anyways, the big important thing is that the Knockouts Tag Team titles are going to be coming back. That's at least it'll be at least be this close for Kira Hogan to ever be a champion in Impact Wrestling, and that's gonna be good enough for me. If she can't be the Impact Knockouts champion, then at least give her the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships along with Tasha Steelz. So I'm glad they're bringing it back. For Kira Hogan and Tasha Steelz to do, especially Kira Hogan, because she needs it a lot more. And also on top of that, she's also a tag team champion outside of Impact Wrestling for Women's of Wrestling Superheroes, and that's that's what it is called. She's a tag team champion with Diamante, who's called Adrenaline. Adrenaline, I'm going to say. Basically, Kira Hogan is known as Fire, and Diamante is known as Adrenaline. But yeah, there you go. And they're a baby faces too on that show. I guess you could say they're superheroes, and they got to deal with super villains in there. I don't remember seeing the show actually, folks. I tried to see it before, but I just I guess I think I never got a chance to see it, and I didn't get a chance to have any time to see it at all. But I'm gonna try eventually to see what that show is all about. And who knows, maybe I'll do a review up here too. But who knows? Trying to think about something else here. A couple of minor notes here that happened on the show before we get to the show itself. Other than they're promoting let me get that out of the way. By the way, they're promoting the wedding segment that Johnny Bravo, Rosemary, Tyra Valkyrie are going to be doing for Tuesday coming up. But along with also with Jessica Havoc, blah blah. He's still got that money chain. Johnny Bravo, the Deaners were there too. By the way, I'll get to them later. By the way, Crazy Steve, whoever else is part of this whole wedding fiasco. But based how they've been booking this show and all that, and basically there were segments on the show where it tends to that. I see myself, why is there segments of it on a pay-per-view for Bound for Glory? All my segments were on the Moose going to a located to an undisclosed location, meant to say. To undisclosed location, meant to say. I don't mind that because it's part of the show. Why is this wedding crap is part of the show is beyond me. And on top of that, why in the hell was Johnny Bravo dressing up like Two-Face from Batman and Robin? No, I'm sorry, not Batman Robin. That's Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, and also including Bane. I meant Batman Forever. That's what I meant to say. Batman Forever. Yeah, for whatever reason, Johnny Bravo was just like Two Face from Batman Forever. It was not even a good look for Two Face either. If you've seen the peer review, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. If you even seen pictures of it on Twitter, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. That's the worst Two Face Harvey Dent costume I've ever seen in my entire life. Versus to Batman Forever. So there you go. Oh yeah, Johnny Bravo is basically now apparently now he's found his balls because he's letting Ty Parker know that he's gonna be wearing the pants in the family. He's gonna order her around because that's what it's all about. And Ty Parker had a concern look on her face and looked upset that Johnny Bravo was doing is acting like this. But I don't blame him that much anyways because Ty Parker has been abusing him for years, and she should have known what she created. You know that eventually it was going to be building up to something, and this is where it's going to lead up to at the wedding on Tuesday. And on top of that, with Rosemary needs Havoc help to bring back Harper James Mitchell, and trying to get anything else about it or change the whole segment. Um, Basically the tease is something about something's gonna happen during that wedding thing on Tuesday. Hopefully this means that Ty Bradbury is going to come to her sense and told Rosemary that what Johnny Bravo's plan is going to be after they get married. Maybe maybe it'll be worth it if they cancel it or but it's gonna still be shit how they're gonna do it. And a quick minor note here. Um, the pre-show they didn't show the pre-show kickoff in a way on the show for Battle for Glory. I don't know where they show that. Maybe on Impact Plus, maybe on YouTube. I don't care at this point because the match lasted 3 minutes and 42 seconds. A tag match that involved the Deaners, Cody Deaner and Cousin Jake defeating the Rascals, Dez and Wins. Well, don't care to see the match now because now that I know I heard about the Deaners winning, that was good enough for me because I don't like because I don't like the Deaners no more. So there you go. So yeah, I guess that's basically it. Over to a couple of minor notes there, and I'll get to the Ultimate Christian Rock and the Rock and with Dwayne the Rock Johnson, that whole thing, and I'll explain some things too with pertains to the whole thing. Because I remember I said something up here that I was going to be doing something pertains to the coverage of the Hall of Fame thing, and I'll get to that when I get to that part of Christian Rock. So excuse me. But nevertheless, let's get right into the show now. Surprisingly the opening show of it because I thought it was gonna be Cody I thought it was gonna be the Deaners versus the Rascals, which it kind of sort of was, but was not part of the pay-per-view itself. The opening show actually was the 6-way scramble match for the Impact X Division Championship. 13 minutes and 20 seconds it lasted with I can't remember. I really should look this up too by the way for pertains to it, but I could always do a quick one to do that, just to refresh my memory. So give me one moment, folks, because it's very important to look it up. So let me see here. All right, there we go. Play. I gotta do is find it. Let me see. 1 second, folks. Let me load this down. I want. Okay. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. I gotta hear this myself to just to make sure I wasn't hearing things when I was watching it. Okay. One more entry to go. Okay. All right, let me see. Okay, we're up now. Okay, I gotta hear this myself. Okay, I was right. The Desi Hitman. Rohit Rajul, the Desi Hitman. Sure. Let's go with that. Or we could go with something else. But what do I bring it up when I get a chance to bring it up? But yeah, remember that. The Desi Hitman. Just give me a moment. Let me get back to the results. So, it involves the Impact X Division champion, the Desi Hitman, Rohit Rajul, or should I say the Desi Shitman, Rohit Rajul, based on how he performed in this match, versus Chris Bay, the Ultimate Finesser, versus Jordan Grace, Thick Mama Buff, I meant to say. TJP, don't know what to call him. Trey Miguel, the Fresh Prince of Midair, and Willie Mack, Chocolate Thunder. TJP, what was his nickname? What could be a nickname? I don't know. I just don't know. Whatever. TJP, Anyways, but yeah, the match itself, it was all about Rohit Raju, comedy spots and all that where he's outnumbered and he tried to get away from them. But they some of them kind of fail, and like, oh my god, this is terrible. This is freaking terrible. Chris Bay did his thing, amazing. Jordan Grace did her thing. She would stop you a couple of spots in the match. TJP, he was very good at what he was doing there. Obviously, be very innovative. Be very innovative with the submission holds to not just one person, but two persons, but three persons, and I'm like, wow, it's amazing. And it's a four person, but then Jordan Grace counter that one. Willie Mack did his thing, tends to how good he can be in the ring. But the Desi Shitman and Rohit Rajul, who's a shit champion and everything, didn't help any case at all. I don't remember what he did in this match other than try to take advantage of wins and everything. And it came to a point where he almost won the match against Jordan Grace, almost won a match against I think to Chris Bay, I believe at one point, or maybe it was TJP. I can't remember. But there was a lot of high flying moves going on, with TJP, Chris Bay. I think Jordan Grace made this one too. Not too crazy, but she does something too. Trey Miguel did something too as well. And then the ending came. Rohit Raju wins. Not only he won, but he beat Trey Miguel. What a shit finish that was. And the worst part is I don't remember how that shit finish even happened. I think it has something to do with we might give him trade the stunner, and then maybe Chris Bay may have did some finish move as well. But they're all was also doing the finish moves too, to each other, to one another. Know that, and they did the spot with Reed Raju, getting outnumbered again. But it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, Reed Raju still retains the title. Look, I don't mind him being the champion. I don't mind him getting this push now about he signed a new deal with Impact Wrestling. But the way they're booking him, because I always want to give a guy a chance to mean something in Impact Wrestling, and he finally is, but not in this capacity. This capacity. And Josh Matthews, by the way, talking about that. Sports Illustrated had Rick Raju, and I said to myself, no, he was not on Sports Illustrated. No one cares about having Rohit Rajul on Sports Illustrated. No offense, but don't spill bullshit on that. Ridiculous, bro. Sports Illustrated. In fact, let me do something here, just to prove a point. I was wrong, by the way. um, everything's Rohit Rajul. Let me see. You have got to be kidding me. Holy cow, this is really legit. Rohit Rajul was talked about on Sports Illustrated. I thought Josh Memphis was just saying that just to well, I got to tell Chris about this one. Yo, Miss Freaking J21. Wow. Nevertheless, if you want him to be a fine champion, you want him to take him seriously, then book him that way. I mean, if you're gonna have him be on Sports Illustrated and then you're presenting him like that, no one's gonna take him seriously. If you want us to take him seriously, book him seriously. Don't have him book like he's trying to be a Kawi heel, because I'm sick and tired of seeing that shit, by the way. That shit is getting nowhere right with heels. Especially when you got someone like Rohit Raju who could be pretty good. But whatever, right? The damage been done anyway, so whatever. Let me get to the next match. It will involve 20 wrestlers, and that includes the knockouts. There's Koya shot. I think I better said picture shot. No, I meant to say Koya shot. Koya shot gauntlet match, where the winner will get a title shot, any title shot match they're choosing. And there's a stipulation: if Heath or Rhino wins, Heath gets a contract, and Rhino is safe from being fired. But if they don't win, then Heath doesn't get a contract, and Rhino is fired. Also, Hernandez is last participant in the match, who since he won the match on Impact Wrestling. Oh, the Go Home Show, this one, and we'll get to him later, by the way. But match lasted 25 minutes and 22 seconds. 25 minutes and 22 seconds it lasted. So let's get to the participants that were in the match, and there were surprises too, by the way, folks. And I'm gonna get to that. Some that I was thrilled for, someone I was not thrilled for. But you'll find out. And no, I'm not gonna do the whole you're gonna what. Because I was pissed off for seeing that. But let me find. Okay, here we go. So Rhino was number 1. Number 2, the returning of Sean Davari. And I see myself, okay, so they call him Davari here, and I look at him and I say, wow, he looks good, looks in good shape. I like what kind of supplements he's on, just saying. But he looks good. He's going by Davari. Last we've heard of him, he was fired by WWE during the pandemic. He was just a producer for WWE, or yeah, that's WWE's way to call him a road agent, whatever. Is by calling him a producer. What pertains to producing matches. So yeah, Sean Davari is there. Surprisingly, they allow him being called by Davari. which is shocking because that's supposed to be a WWE property name, you know, because if he's going to come back into Impact Wrestling, I thought he'd be he's called Abdullah the Sheik for sure, or I think it's Abdullah Sheik for sure. I can't remember how he was called, but it was something to that degree. But no, he's going by Sean Davari, or should I say just Davari. So yeah, he was in the match. Then you get entry number 2. It's Larry D of Triple X. We get Gracie Steve coming out. We get AC Romero of Triple X coming out. We get Tina Dashwood on the first knockout to participate in the match so far. But she didn't get in there yet because you have Kid with a K coming out along with her, and she's like, you know what, you get in there, before I get in there. That's the whole deal. That's the whole thing that it was. And at first, I thought she wasted her spot, but Caleb with a K was in there. And yeah, for those who know, Caleb with a K, his name is Caleb Conley. He's a wrestler, so that's why he was in there. For those who are wondering, if you never heard of him, there you go. So yeah, he was in there, but he got eliminated. Even though he was not really a full participant in the match, it was Tina Dashwood, and then she eventually got in there. We also had Havoc in there. Then you got, let's see. Oh yeah, then you got Brian Myers. Brian Myers. My God. And then we get Swoggle. Not just Swoggle, but the former Hornswoggle. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You wasted a spot entry, a surprise spot entry for this guy. I don't know who's worse now, Joey Ryan or Swoggle. Fuck you, Impact Wrestling. No Jay Crisp. Really? No Jay Crisp. Where is he? Why have you brought him back yet? He's still on the contract with you. Why have you brought him back yet? Why waste a spot for Hornswoggle for a spot in the match that was that was unnecessary for this show. But I was so freaking pissed. And then Tom Dreamer came out, and I mean, it's kind of funny that he cut his hair, in the style of Road Warrior Animal, because he was doing a tribute for Road Warrior Animal, wearing the T-shirt, wearing the face paint, did the hairstyle and everything, except for one thing, he's kind of balding from from the top of the crown of the head, but it was enough. It was long enough, for his head to put to put as a ponytail and everything, and then he cut the side of his hair he shaved the side of his hair. But it was good though. It looked good. But then things ruined it for me when they, when Tommy Dreamer had Girl Hawkins on his shoulder, and Tommy Dreamer on his knees, so that Swoggle can and Dreamer can do a doomsday device to Kurt Hawkins, and Kurt Hawkins not only got hit with it, but he sold it. That fucking sucked. That was fucking garbage. So fucking embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassment, Lucia Edwards gets in there, and she gets immediately eliminated from the match. No Madison Rayne in this match. I would prefer Madison Rayne in this match than Alicia Edwards, who did nothing in this match, because she got immediately eliminated from the match. Oh yeah, and Tom Dreamer got eliminated in this match too. And like, okay, so you did this on tribute thing for Tom Dreamer, and then he's gone. Kira Hogan comes out. At least she tries to help me, to feel better, to feel a little better after this fiasco. of a fucking clown show at this point. Taya Valkyrie comes out. Bob comes out with his shirt on, and he's got the money chain. He's covered up and everything. And I was saying to myself, as it came out, like Hernandez and Bob's gonna do a spot somehow where pertains to Hernandez's money, and we'll get to that part when we get to it. And it was fucking stupid, by the way. But brace yourself for that. And then we get a shocking return to Impact Wrestling. Didn't expect this to happen, but I'm glad he chose to be there than to be in WWE. The return of the Cowboy, James Storm. And I couldn't be more happier to see James Storm there. So WWE, sorry about your damn luck. Because guess what? You don't need James Storm anyways. Just saying. But the thing is too, James Storm was planning on going to WWE too, but because of the pandemic, plans changed. Thank God for that. So again, sorry about your damn luck, WWE. And fuck WWE, by the way. Who else came out? Oh yeah. Alan Dorso was in the match. I wasn't really expecting him to be in the match, but he ends up being in the match. Sami Callihan was in the match too. Like I like that, you know. Where's Luster the Legend? He came out too, by the way. I remember where anyways, Luster the Legend came out too. I don't know why it doesn't say here. Because Alan Dorso came out first, and then later on it was basically after Sami Callihan that Luster the Legend came out. But then again, my memory is a little fuzzy there. It may have been before Sami Callihan or after Sami Callihan. Either way. And then we get Hernandez. Hernandez is in there now. He finally gets in there. And then all of a sudden he comes across to Falaba, rips the shirt, and he sees the money. And then the money was thrown outside the ring. Falaba was eliminated from the match, and he goes to the money. Hernandez, is like telling Reno Skeleton, he's got my money and everything. And then Hernandez goes over the top. He eliminates himself to go after Falaba because he's got his money. This story sucks. This booking sucks. So stupid. He cares more about, that money, that raw money, than win a match where he could have got more money. You made Hernandez look so stupid after this. What's the point of him on win that match on Impact Wrestling for him to get the number 20 spot? We got the full field advantage. Where everyone else is doing all the work in there, and then he gets he gets in there last. He's he's new, he's fresh and all that. He's the last person in there. He's got a lot of energy, and everyone's energy is gonna be wasted at this point. And you did something stupid with him by having him throw himself out, making him look stupid, making him look like an idiot for wasting an opportunity where he could have got a title shot. I'd like to know who's the fucking moron who booked that shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I'm gonna limit myself to get my money back. Fuck the title shots. Fuck the trophy of win this match. Are you kidding me? It was down to all the four guys: James Storm, Sami Callihan, Heath, and Rhino. So what chance to Heath and Rhino is now or never in this match. They gotta survive here. Otherwise, Heath will not get a contract and Rhino will be fired. James Storm got eliminated, and then Heath got wait. Actually, let me see. Yes, James Storm got eliminated by Sami Callihan. Heath then got eliminated, and Rhino got but at this point, in this style of gauntlet match, it's now it's gonna be a singles match at this point where it's gotta be ended by a pinfall or submission, and Heath is being checked on by a couple of staff people. But I'll get to that part when I get to it. Rhino goes for the gore, because Sami Callihan trying to use a steel chair, but he would have got the squat by if he would have done that. But it was kind of lame the way they did it too. By the way, it was because Sami Callihan look like an idiot after that. He gets gored and 1, 2, 3, and Rhino wins. Which it was gonna happen either way, folks. Heath and Rhino. The story was building up for that whole thing is that either Heath or Rhino was gonna win, or it probably would have been down between those two. And either one of them would have won either way. Doesn't matter who would have won because they both would still be part of Impact Wrestling. However, here's the problem. So yeah, Reynolds in the ring, celebrating and everything, but here's the problem: Heath got hurt. He got legitimately hurt in this match, which I'm gonna bring up this whole thing right now that I have up here. Injury reportedly changed the ending of Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory match. Heath reportedly sustained an abdominal or groin injury. Wow. Yeah. I remember seeing a picture of Heath tweeting on Twitter of it. Fairly early into him entering the match, Heath went what was down on the mat as things continue on. He spoke a few times to a ref about his injury and was able to move to a corner, staying in the in the match until the 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 final four, with James Storm, Sami Callihan, and Rhino. The winner of the match, you know, receive a future title shot. The whole thing. Pick your shot. Whole thing. Where if Rhino or Heath wins, then they remain in Impact Wrestling. Rhino ends up winning at the end. And they said something about Heath was supposed to win. Yeah. So it was gonna be Heath and Rhino. I mean Heath and Sami Callihan in the final spot of the match. But because Heath got hurt, Rhino took his place instead. So Heath went to the hospital after that. He posted, and that's where he posted the picture on social media on Twitter. So no official word of it yet about his injury that he sustained, but hopefully he gets a speedy recovery, and hopefully he comes back pretty soon. Hopefully it's not an injury that's gonna up on the shelf for a couple of months, but we'll see. It just depends. So hope he's doing alright. But hey, the bright side is, Rhino won for himself and for Heath. So Heath's got a contract with Impact Wrestling, but they got to work through this now when it comes to the injury angle. That the whole injury situation that Heath unfortunately had. Okay, we go backstage where we see Gina Miller interviewing the North. The North was not just to compete yet. They were still in their street clothes, and you have Josh Alexander kind promo, and then you have Ethan Page kind promo talking about 94 days that the Motor City Machine Guns are tag champions, and he was very up. He was fired up with his promo too. By the way, that's how long that that the North has not been the tag champions for that. Ever since the Motor City Machine Guns won the tag belts from them, and they rotated them in the tag team title reigns and all that, and he was fired up with that promo. Ethan Page, man, he was on. He was ready. After that promo, he was definitely ready to take one of those tag belts back, and we'll get to that part later. Let's give one moment. Okay. Now we get to EC3 versus Moose, and not for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship title, but this match is an undisclosed location match. and it lasted 9 minutes and 49 seconds. No referee, by the way. So Moose is driving, um, and he's going to this undisclosed location that EC3 mapped out for him to go to. EC3 it's in some kind of gym. By looks of it, it's a gym, but there's no lights on. And he's beating up this guy in the ring. Don't know he's beating up on, but he's also kind of promo too, by the way. And you have a couple of guys, and girls around surrounding the ring, wearing the EC3 hoodie. And Moose arrives, and Moose is wearing all white, by the way. Just want to bring that up. White tank top, white pants. And I think he had white belt on. I can't remember if he did or not, but I digress. He got his teenage world title belt with him, and the henchmen of EC3 in the way there, and Moose gets of course right to them to get to EC3. EC3 was never to be found until finally he showed himself on the bleachers, and they get in the ring and they start fighting, and they have the best fight I've ever seen. And basically what they did here, and I understand now what EC3's character is all about now, because the whole thing what they did with Moose, talking to Scott Demoy and all that, and Scott Demoy is acting like he doesn't know what he's talking about, and never chance to EC3, and everything else that's been going on too, all this whole build up and everything, is basically their version of Fight Club. And for EC3, his character being Brad Pitt. From the movie Fight Club, which great movie by the way, folks. If you haven't seen a movie, if you're not seen a movie yet, you're missing out on it. Go watch that movie; it's great. But yeah, Fight Club, that's what it is. And also in the mix also of blood sports, pertains to MMA fights and all that, to have her in the ring and everything. That's basically what it is. And they're being living hell each other in this match. Moose and EC3 in the ring, outside the ring. One point EC3 got busted open by Moose, and then Moose got busted open later on. And Moose, because they were in all white, the blood of EC3 was on all over Moose's white outfit he's wearing. And they continue on fighting. And by the way, we're just holding the EC3 with his character and everything, that he had ideas for to do is coming to fruition. And this was the idea that EC3 thought of, that WWE stole from him. The whole thing of the whole Raw Underground concept, that was the EC3 idea. And they, as WWE always do, when they when wrestlers come up out on these type of ideas and they turn them down, all of a sudden they steal their ideas and make it their own ideas. A guy like EC3 who wanted to do something for his company in WWE, and WWE didn't want to do anything with him. Fuck that company. So Moose got the win, obviously, and EC3 let him, and basically at the end of it, EC3 let Moose get the win. He wanted Moose to control his narrative, pertains to him being, you want to be the champ, the TNA World Champion that you to be, then be the TNA World Champion. Control your narrative, and that's what Moose did, and give him the final blow. And then Moose, basically giving that look, it wasn't a look like he nodded his head, whatever. It's just a stare EC3 as he's down, like he respects him now. Now I don't know if it's gonna lead to Moose turning face now. I don't know if that's gonna be the case, whatever. But I liked it, and the match was good. It was a good brutal match, to say the least. Now, before we get to this next match, folks, let me do this. Give me a moment. Now let's get to this thing with the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, being inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame Clash of 2020. So yes, may first say congratulations to Ken Shamrock once again for being inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. They show a clip of Ken Shamrock being giving a speech. Not much of a speech on his outfit. It wasn't a tuxedo, but it was still a nice sharp outfit that he was wearing. I wish he wore a tie, but but that's neither here or there. I digress. Oh, and this the whole thing. But and then I see Matt Striker. Now at first I was thinking to myself, is that Matt Striker? And then also you know I at the end of the show I should say on Twitter or whatever I saw a picture of Ken Shamrock and Matt Striker on and I'm like, oh yeah, it is Matt Striker. Cool. Can we have him replace Josh Matthews, please? I'm just saying. Oh man, because he'll be a better addition of a commentator than Josh Matthews. But anyways, but Ken Shamrock was giving a speech and all that. But before he was giving a speech, but and they didn't actually show his full speech. Um, it was just a small clip of him, getting the plaque, of being inducted into to, to the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. I don't remember if they give him the gold watch too, the gold rocks watch of like they always do with all inductees into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. But before all that happened, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he did a video that was pre-taped, and he basically let Ken Shamrock know congratulations, and that they had battles before, and basically let him know that he could be he couldn't be more happier to see him being inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. And there you go. That was basically it for that one. So yes, Ken Shamrock, the first ever Impact World Champion at the time, what it was called NWA TNA, and it's rightfully so for him to be inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2020. So if anyone deserves that induction into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, it is the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. So once again, congratulations to Ken Shamrock. You are Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer. All right, now we got that out of the way. Now let's get to the match with the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, being accompanied by the ICU hacker, that's a fail by the way, versus Eddie Edwards. That lasted 12 minutes and 32 seconds. The only thing I love about the match was that Ken Shamrock, not only he won, which rightfully so, but Ken Shamrock was destroying Eddie Edwards. And he kept kneeing him in the face, which I love. The part I hate about this match is that, for one thing, Eddie Edwards. Another thing, Sami Callihan being the factor of the end of the match, where he came out. He was out there obviously, but he got in the ring. He used the phone, to hack into the system, whatever. And then basically the lights went out, lights came back on. Sami Callihan with a baseball bat, and then Eddie Edwards had a candlestick. And then you hear Josh Matthews saying, "Kenny, more reasons for me to never ever like this character, this gimmick of Eddie Edwards ever again, and more reason to never ever fucking like Josh Matthews ever either. Fuck Josh Matthews, fuck Eddie Edwards, and fuck Kenny the Candlestick. And most likely fuck this finish of the matches too. This was fucking garbage. You tell me you're gonna protect Eddie Edwards in this match to a guy that you're inducting into an Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame and Ken Shamrock? This is the best finish you come up with? You could just have Ken Shamrock just beat him clean Ken Shamrock was kicking his ass in this match, and you're telling me that Sami Callihan ends up being the factor of distraction for Ken Shamrock to beat Eddie Edwards? What a fucking joke! And another thing too, I should have mentioned this too. By the way, I feel bad for Ken Shamrock for being inducted into the Hall of Fame as well because of this pandemic. Unfortunately, no crowds can be there to applaud him, and not anyone else couldn't be there either. To basically giving that condolences and all that. So I do feel bad for Ken Shamrock for that one. But I also feel bad for Ken Shamrock that he can't even he can't even have a beat Eddie Edwards clean in this match because Impact Wrestling is booking of protecting Eddie Edwards here. Like, so fucking ridiculous. Okay, now we get to the Impact four-way tag team match for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. It lasted 14 minutes and 26 seconds. It involved the North, All Eagle Page, and Walking Weapon Josh Alexander versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabins, who are the Impact World Tag Team Champions, versus the Good Brothers of the Big LG, Doc Gallows, and Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Machine Gun Carl Anderson was wearing his ring attire, his actual ring attire of him being mostly I mean, of being a machine gun, I meant to say, Motor City. I meant to say, him wearing his ring attire of being the machine gun Carl Anderson. That's what I meant to say. His wrestling tights, and all that. Good. I'm glad. Better than wearing the camouflage. Which probably I thought I was wearing a camouflage too, but it was kind of not that revealing. But it was still good though. Versus Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. I gotta say one thing. I did not like the booking of what happened with Madman Fulton in this match, where it tends to from like storm from the mid end of the match, somewhat. Um, because they made it look like he couldn't defend himself. Well, obviously he couldn't defend himself, but the way they did it was so poor. It was booked very poorly. I didn't like that. Someone who's supposed to be a monster in Impact Wrestling, that's just how you book him. I should talk about what happened before the match though. Before the match, Alex Shelley was mostly machine guns. Obviously, were attacked by the North. The North was not playing around, folks. They literally went at they basically went after mostly machine guns before the match even started, and they took out Alex Shelley. Well, Josh Alexander took out Alex Shelley with the double underhook pile driver on the stage. Were to the point that Alex Shelley couldn't compete, and Chris Sabin he didn't know what to do, so he decided to have some guts and to be brave here and go into the match without his partner, and that's what he did, and he had a great performance in the match too. By the way, folks. Um, in fact, I'm gonna get do some word change to the highlights of the night. Word change to that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that in mind right now. But you'll see what I mean. Okay, I think I spelled it wrong there. Come on, spell it right. There we go. There we go. Okay. And maybe get to that part. Maybe get to this part now with Alex Shelley. Because I'm wondering why they did this of Alex Shelley. Because Alex Shelley was taking out the match. For where I don't understand why they did this. That he had like an injury that he suffered before coming to the show. Was this is it something that something came up of why they took him out of the match? Because he didn't return. I thought he was gonna return. During where it takes he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight his way back into the ring. And he never got a chance to get in the ring. And he's gonna at the end maybe eventually he'll get the win along with Chris Sabin, with two guys being taken out. With Chris Sabin, his energy was taken out because he was in there for the longest time, and didn't know who to tag to, because he may not get an opportunity to retain his title here. He may not get a tag, because he's the only man in there. because his partner was taken out. Um, but then, but I thought, eventually that Alex Jones was come back out. But he's not 100%. Same Chris Sabin at this point. But eventually they could get it out, and they could still end up being, still coming out as tag team champions. Or they could, Alex Jones could have came back out there, and they still could have, they would try the absolute best to retain the titles, but then unfortunately they came up short, and they couldn't do it. But no, Alex Shelley never came out there. He never came out there, and I was wondering why. So here's the story here. Alex Shelley, and this is my first time going to be reading about this too. So same thing that I did earlier with Heath. So here we go. Alex Shelley out of upcoming indie event after getting ambushed at Impact Wrestling Battle Glory. So let's see what that's about. The North, well, I'll get to the North, by the way, later on in this one. But and I'm going to talk about the match too, by the way. Let you know how I feel about it. But Charles Alexander ambushed Alex Shelley on stage and double hook power driver on him. Alex Shelley looked at by referees and officials and taken to the back. Christina ended up standing in the ring with Alex's partner, as I already mentioned. It says something about Black Label Pro announced Alex Shelley is out there upcoming Slammerton event on November 21st in Crowns Point, Indiana. Unfortunately, due to the injury, Alex Shelley will not be appearing at Slammerton. I think that's what it's called. I'll pronounce, but talked with Billy Rock, and he will still be wrestling that afternoon. We will announce a replacement opponent when it's figured out. Shelley apologized on social media about missing the show. Wrestling is a really dangerous sport, and sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to. I apologize to Black Label Sport and someone by SOR Billy. Don't know who that is. Oh yeah. Or Billy Rock. I'm assuming that's who's supposed to be taking on. I don't know. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know if he's a wrestler or not. But anyway, who was coming out of retirement? Okay, so he's a wrestler who was coming out of retirement as well, and as any independent companies I was negotiating with, power drivers are very dangerous. Previously, stepping away from wrestling to be a psychological therapist. Excuse me. Shelley explained more about potential trauma to the C5 and C6. Okay, so I'll read. I guess that's why, I guess he may got. I guess it was due to injuries that he got from the head. So unfortunate too. And I'm going to get to someone else too. Which is where it ends up being unfortunate that this person didn't end up being on the show either. But I'll get to it when I get to it. And then plans change from there too. A lot of plans change from Impact's Battle Glory, which is unfortunate. But here we go. But the match itself, the North, Chris Sabin, one half of the Motion Machine Guns, Good Brothers, first, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. This match, even without Alex Shelley, this match still ended up being good. With the storytelling of Chris Sabin, can he do it on his own? And he was gutted out and everything and all that. And it was pretty amazing. He's doing this on his own, and he's taking a lot of punishment, but he's also fighting back. He's making a lot of comeback, making a lot more momentum shifts to him, that. Eventually, they did make a tag, for where he's ended up not being part of, the factor of the match. I can't remember who got pinned. I'm pretty sure it was Chris Sabin who got pinned. I mean, it would make sense that he got pinned because he took a lot of punishment in this match. Okay, I went too far. I went too far away there. Uh, okay, I remember now. All right, so the finish of the match was Carl Anderson was rolling up Ethan Page for a pin. I mean, Josh Alexander for a pin, to say. But was shoved to the ropes. A referee somehow was distracted by someone from outside, while Ethan Page had the belt and nails Carl Anderson with the belt, and this led to Josh Alexander pinning Carl Anderson, your winner, and new Impact World Tag Team Champions once again, the North, all equal Ethan Page, and walking weapon Josh Alexander. I was fine with it. I would have been fine with the Good Brothers too. I would have been fine with them as well, despite how I feel about them right now, the way they're being booked on Impact Wrestling. But I would be fine with them winning too. I was actually thinking, maybe that Madman Fulton and Ace Austin will win, but they didn't either. I'm getting sick and tired at this point right now of how they're being booked right now. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. I don't know why they're being booked like this. I don't know why Impact Wrestling is having them lose like this. Now, credit here, they didn't lose here. They didn't take the fall here, but they still didn't win. So I'm wondering what are you gonna do with these guys now, moving forward? They failed to become tag team champions. They failed anything with them. Leading up for us anniversary. What is it for them to do now? You're gonna make Madman Fulton look like a joke, who's supposed to be your monster, in Impact Wrestling. And you got Ace Austin, who you knighting him as being the next AJ Styles. And this is how you booked them. I mean, they had good performance in the match though, but still, they haven't won a damn match since anniversary. But whatever. The North are your new Impact World Tag Team Champions, and I couldn't be more happy for them. Good for them. And we get to the Impact Knockouts Championship. That was weird. Match lasted 15 minutes and 5 seconds. We're tasting the Impact Knockouts Championship. It featured the Virtuosa, the Impact Knockouts Champion, Yana Peraza being coming by, Kimberly versus Kylie Ray. But here's the problem: Kylie Ray did not show up. Why she didn't show up? Well, let's find out right now. All right, here we go. Kylie Ray had to be changed after Kylie Ray didn't come to the venue on Saturday, which was last night. Um, reported that Kylie Ray was out due to an injury, but have now said that report was false. Today, Impact didn't announce a change to the title match because they didn't know Kylie Ray's situation at the time. Currently, all that is known is that Kylie Ray drove to Nashville on Friday, but didn't come to the building on Saturday. That doesn't sound like her. It's reporting multiple wrestlers reached out to those close to Kylie Ray and were told she's alive and well. In regards to Heath's injury last night on the pay-per-view, he suffered a hernia. He suffered a hernia. Oh man, that's crazy. And will likely require surgery that will keep him out of action. Great. Well, at least he won. At least round one for him. So that's at least he's got a contract for Impact Wrestling. Even though he's already been had a contract for Impact Wrestling, but it's part of the story where will he finally get a contract? Will he finally no longer be a free agent? Will he finally be signed to a company, and he finally is. Storyline wise, but same time sucks that he's got to be be gone for now. Because he suffered a hernia. He had a hernia injury, so that's why he had they had to call him audible and have Rhino win the match instead against Sami Callihan, because it was good. It was supposed to be Heath last in the last in the match. So unfortunate though, very unfortunate. But let me continue. After being taken out to the hospital, Heath was back at the hotel late last night. Wow. Heath was originally scheduled to win the obviously. We all kind of knew he was going to win. It was going to be Heath or Rhino was going to win. So the Korea shot Battle Royal, which ended up being Rhino, and also also give him obviously a future title shot of his choosing and have a full-time contract. So there you go. But as far as Kylie Ray, I should have seen this coming. In fact, none of us saw this coming, but we should have seen this coming, because if you remember last time, she was signed for AEW, and she no show Fyter Fest when she was supposed to wrestle against. I can't remember who she was supposed to wrestle against. Ali ended up being her replacement, but I forgot who she was supposed to wrestle against. But she didn't show up because she had mental health issues, and I'm pretty sure that was the reason why she didn't show up. Mental health issues. So Kyrie once again is going through that phase once again. I don't know. I just don't know what to say at this point now, because that's twice that she had to to no show an event. One for AEW and now Impact Wrestling. And it will not shock me if I hear later on that she decided to ask for her release from Impact Wrestling, because she did the same thing with AEW. So this led to the match here, where Deonna Purrazzo says that she knew she couldn't show because she knew she was going to get beaten and everything, and she decided to to do an open challenge because there's no one alive or dead. It's not that. I remember how she said it, like wait a minute, what does she mean by that? Yeah, that could that could step toe with her in the match. Rotates to her for this title match, and out comes the Undead Bride, the return of Su Yung. Now, I believe this is going to be the program building up, after Bound for Glory between Su Yung and Deonna Purrazzo. And I was thinking to myself, maybe Su Yung will return on the show after the match with Kylie Ray and Deonna Purrazzo, with Deonna Purrazzo winning. And then when Su Yung returns, Su Yung and Deonna Purrazzo can start their feud after Bound for Glory, leading up to Hard to Kill. That's how they were going to do it first. But because Kylie Ray didn't show up, they decided to do this match right now between Deonna Purrazzo and Su Yung. And Deonna Purrazzo looks scared to death, by the way, of Su Yung. So yeah, there's no more Susie. Now it's the return of Su Yung. And they had a match. Su Yung was kicking the ass of Deonna Purrazzo in this match from the get go. Eventually, Deonna Purrazzo got her back. Getting the momentum on her side. They know that. She was ended up being dominant. But also it started going back for Kimberly got involved a little bit. In the end, it was we had a referee bump too, by the way, in this match. Where the referee went to the turnbuckle and all that and everything. When Kimberly got involved, and then Kimberly got bloody missed by Su Yung, blinding her. And then she had the bloody, and Deonna Purrazzo one point had her in the Fujiwara armbar, and then trying to get both arms to lock it in, and then Su Yung with the bloody glove, mandible claw to Deonna Purrazzo and all that, and they still kept fighting, and then all of a sudden, Su Yung goes for the panic switch, her finishing move, and gets a 3 count in the wins. Like, whoa! I was shocked there. Not that type of shock level, but like, whoa, they give her the belt right here. Like I was thinking myself, Deonna Purrazzo was going to retain here, But no, Su Young is your winner and new Impact and Knockouts champion. Wow, wow. I mean, good for her. I mean, I think it was gonna happen. It was gonna happen eventually. I didn't expect it to happen. On this night. I was expecting maybe it would happen at Hard to Kill, where Su Young will become Impact Knockouts champion. But instead, it happened on Bound for Glory instead. Because again, if Kylie Ray had not dropped out of this event, Kylie Ray would not have won. Then Process would have retained, and then Su Young could have returned, and they could have built a program between Deanna Purrazzo and Su Young after Bound for Glory, leading up to Hard to Kill. But that didn't happen at all. They went to they had to change plans and all that, because Kylie Ray didn't show, and Su Young is now the new Knockouts champion, and you can still build up this feud between Su Young and Deanna Purrazzo, leading up to Hard to Kill. It's still gonna be amazing, and still gonna be nice to have a program for Deanna Purrazzo and Su Young to add a different element into this with Su Young instead of Susie. So yeah, good for Su Young becoming the Knockouts champion again, and yeah, with her back now. We're all in danger now. We're all in danger now. We're all doomed, according to Paul James Mitchell at one point. It was not that long ago either. It was actually this past year he said that. Yeah, Su Young's back now, and now we're all in danger. We're all doomed. We're all gonna die. I mentioned it was 15 minutes and 5 seconds. The match lasted. And it was good. Good match. Good match. Main event time. Yes, main event time. The Impact World Championship, and that's the 21 minutes and 31 seconds. Rich Swann versus the Impact World Champion Eric Young. This match was good, and the match that they built up to this point was good too. These guys were killing each other in this match. Not to a point where they're bleeding to death or whatever, like the whole thing with Moose in E3. But this match was pretty damn good. Rich Swann was getting the better of EY, and EY got the better of him at the Rich Swann trying to go for a move, and EY got the best of him from there, counter or whatever. And Rich Swann ends up getting hurt from the neck. Not legit, but it was part of an angle that now it's gonna be two things that Eric Young's gonna go after: the neck and the ankle. And he went to the neck and also went after the ankle in the match too as well. And these guys were trading punches to each other, and it was some nice punches by the way of Rich Swann and Eric Young. To each other, especially Eric Young. Eric Young always delivered the best punches in the business. And Rich Swann basically returned that hero too. And these guys were going for every move. Eric Young had an amazing move out of the corner of the second turnbuckle. Pretty amazing. I'll get to that when I mention the highlights of the night. Rich Swann was killing it too with his flip moves and all that and everything. Amazing, man. He it was just out of the ordinary. That's Rich Swann. And finally, in the end, Rich Swann doing some was doing it was some kind of cutter that they did off the turnbuckle, because Eric Young trying to go for some to the Rich Swann, and then Rich Swann goes for a cutter onto him. It's like an avalanche cutter, and then he goes for the lethal injection, shades of Jay Lethal. Basically the handspring cutter and all that, and then he goes for the Phoenix Splash off the top rope, and gets the 3 count in the win, and I couldn't believe it. They actually went all the way with Rich Swann, your winner and new Impact World Champion, Rich Swann. Eric Young leaves the ring. He's by the rampway. You got the entire locker room empty out. You see Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards, the Deaners, the Rascals. Can't remember who else was out there. But I think also Fallout Bob was out there too. But yeah, you get the entire locker room coming out there, and they all rub it in the face of EY. as they are walking down there, and they got in the ring and they're helping up Rich Swann, helping hoisting him up. Oh yeah, Wade Mack was there too. Hoisting him up. TJP was there too, by the way. I think Jordan Christian was out there too. But yeah, they're hoisting him up, and it's a great moment for Rich Swann. I could have been more happier for Rich Swann after everything that he's been through. After being fired by WWE because of the incident that he had with his wife Su Young. You know, Rich Swann and Su Young are married in real life, by the way. Where Rich Swann got suspended by WWE, and Rich Swann as being, and he ended up being fired after that. Now I don't condone what Rich Swann did to Su Young after that that event that Su Young was part of. That Rich Swann was not happy about her performance, whatever, and he basically treated her like trash. Tends to be on the road, whatever. Rich Swann was not in a good place at that time, and I was not out. That was a low. I think that was a low point of Rich Swann's life, but Su Young did forgive Rich Swann, and they're still married. But they're still together. Because that's not the Rich Swann that I've known to that's seen on TV. That's not the Rich Swann that everyone that every wrestler that talked about Rich Swann behind the scenes. Whatever happened to Rich Swann on that year, that was not Rich Swann. But he ends up being a better man after that. But unfortunately, WWE didn't give him a chance. Fuck WWE for that, by the way. I mean, if your plan was to fire him, then you should have fired him on the spot. Then why you just suspended him and fined him, only to fire him later on? But I'm glad he's gone from WWE anyways, because there was going to do anything with him anymore anyways. I don't think he was ever going to be Cruiserweight champion again in WWE after that. So he ends up coming to Impact Wrestling. I mean, he's been elsewhere too, but at one point he wanted to retire. He wanted to retire after being fired from his dream job. You can say the same thing with Kimberly too. Kimberly, that was her dream job too, but then they fired her because she's not the type of a wrestler that they're looking for. Fuck you. So Kimberly is is part of Impact Wrestling too. She signed with a contract with Impact Wrestling to be there for the long time. Rich Swann is the same thing too. Where he decided to come out of retirement and he came to Impact Wrestling. And he's wrestling elsewhere too as well. But as right now in this pandemic thing, I don't know if he is doing any indie dates right now. But Rich Swann, part of Impact Wrestling for since I believe 2018, since 2018. Since coming to Impact Wrestling, or maybe it was 2019, but he's become a fast rising star in Impact Wrestling, being an Impact X Division champion. Would have been the tag team champions with Wade Mack, but then he got hurt. No thanks to Dave Christ, and he was not apologetic for that. And fuck him too, by the way. But Rich Swann, going through all these injuries, from his ankle, and then finally coming back to 7th anniversary, where he could have been the world champion, but they did start with the whole thing with Eric Young, because Eric Young got beaten by Rich Swann in that match. And there was a right booking there. They did. Now I didn't condone I didn't condone Eddie Edwards winning that match, but it did lead to EY eventually getting the title belt off of Eric Eric Young getting the belt off of Eddie Edwards, to say, which I'm glad they did. I didn't think they was going to do it, but I'm glad they did. But I knew it was also going to lead to a point where that Eric Young versus Rich Swann was going to happen at Battle Glory. But I didn't expect that it was for the title. I just be like a blood feud leading to Battle Glory, where it's just going to be a grudge match, not for the title. But I'm glad it ends up being for the title, because it was a story building up for Rich Swann, of his injuries, a real injury that he suffered back in January, and they made it as a story of leading up to him versus Eric Young for Battle Glory, and the added cherry on top for the Impact World title. Eric Young being the world champion. Eric Young is the type of guy that doesn't mind putting guys over, and he did it for Rich Swann. He put Rich Swann over on this night of Bound for Glory, because rightfully so for Rich Swann. And Bobby, I know I said many times before, the way that Eric Young has been used on WWE, fuck you, WWE, for that. So yeah, a lot of fuck yous to WWE for ruining Eric Young, firing Rich Swann the way they did, firing Kimberly because she's not the one that we're looking for, and also John Perazzo, who's also been added into this too of being fired back in April. The whole Black Wednesday thing. Fuck them too for firing Dan Perazzo by not even doing with her much of her NXT. And I could go on and on by saying fuck the evil of everything at this point. But this is on the way for Eric Young to rub it in their face that WWE fucked up with him. Same thing with EC3, and now the same thing with Rich Swann. You yo you yo I guess you could say 4 years now since being fired by WWE. This is Rich Swann's way to rub it in their face and say fuck you for firing me by wasting his time, all the suspensions and then and the fine. I'm pretty sure he was fined, for making the company look bad like that. Only to fire him, only to fire him. And this is the first time. This isn't the first they did with someone like Rich Swann. They did with other people too in WWE. But there you go. But yeah, congratulations to Rich Swann, man. I'm glad he's the Impact World Champion. He's one of my all-star favorites in this in Impact Wrestling. What's they gonna do this years ago with Jay Lethal? Instead of listening to Hulk Hogan, that piece of shit. All right, Rich Swann had a clean shave, by the way. I should mention that. Yeah, I don't know I should mention that, but I just thought I should mention that. A good thing for Rich Swann getting a clean shave to become the Impact World Champion. Great. So yeah, now we got and the best part of this too, by the way, Rich Swann being champion. Su Young, who's also the champion of in her division. You got the married couples, the power couple, as champions in Impact Wrestling. There you go. So there you go, folks. Now before I get to the my overall mention, before I get to my overall show rate of the show, I gotta mention this: the highlights of my highlights of the night for Battle for Glory. So here we go. Swerve of the night, Su Young winning the Knockouts Championship. Shock of the night, James Storm, the Cowboy, returns to Impact Wrestling. Sorry about your damn luck. Promo of the night. Now I was going for EC3, but after that Ethan Page promo that he did, where it tends to how fired up and how pissed off he was of his promo, where it tends to him not being a tag team champion for 94 days since Motion Machine Guns were tag team champions. Like wow, that was an intense fire up promo that I've ever seen of Ethan Page. I mean, he's always been good on promos, but this was amazing, amazingly good. So promo of the night goes to All Eagle Ethan Page, and on top of that, he backed up his promo too, because at the end of the day, the North, they came into that match, they were not playing around, they were not fooling around. They're serious about their their positions of the tag team division, and they took it back. They're the tag team champions, so it delivers. That's why he gets promo tonight. Video promo tonight: the Impact World Championship title build between Rich Swann and Eric Young. Entrance on the night: Darren Parasso with her new robe and with her new ring atop too, by the way, which I love. Performances of the night goes to both Chris Sabin because of his performance, handling it on his own, while Alex Shelley and Rich Swann's performance in their matches as well with Eric Young, just the way it was. So performances of the night goes to both Chris Sabin and Rich Swann. Move of the night: Eric Young's wheelbarrow neckbreaker avalanche off the second rope. That's what I was talking about before. It to how Eric Young had an amazing move in that main event match. That was a match. That was the move. His former finishing move, by the way, not from the top rope though, but what pertains to him doing on the mat. His former finishing move back in WWE. Some people may not know that because Eric Young's real finishing move is the power driver. WWE more things like that. No power drivers. Um. Oh, I forgot. Finish of the night. Yeah, finish of the night goes to Rich Swans. Yeah, finish of the night will go to Rich Swans Phoenix Splash. Um, Brutal match of the night will be the undisclosed location match between Moose and EC3, but a brutal match in a good way. Unfortunately, there's no Fight Forever of the night because without a crowd there, I'm pretty sure there would have been a Fight Forever chant, but that depends if any Impact Wrestling fans come in beforehand will even chant or cheer for anything, but none. Show still tonight will have to be the Impact World Tag Team Championship, mainly because of Chris Sabin's performances. And finally, match of the night, the Impact World Championship match between Eric Young and Rich Swann. And my overall score for the show, 8.5 out of 10. Good show. Which there were some things that they didn't do on the show here that preferred me to give the show a 10 out of 10. I was literally thinking about that too. I wanted to give the show a 10 out of 10 show so badly. But because of the things they did on the show here, Brian Myers thing, the Swoggle thing, the wedding segments thing, what else? That pissed me off. Oh, Josh Matthews. Actually, I'll take that part. I'll take that part back because he was telling the truth about the whole Sports Illustrated. So to Josh Matthews, I apologize for that. I apologize to Josh Matthews for that. For calling him a liar and all that. But Ray Rajul, the Desi shit man, Ro shit Rajul. It's not his fault by the way, but it's the fault of the agent that's booked him that way. But the way he's that way his performance in the match, I was not impressed, and I was not into it. So, but yeah, that would prevent me to give this a 10 out of 10 or at least a 9 out of 10. But it's still a good show though. It was worth my time. So there you go. And I'm done. All right, being said, thank you for watching. If this is the first time you're experiencing yours truly, Metro Born Driller, right here on YouTube, please, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for more content leading up to the future on my YouTube channel, Metro Born Driller, yours truly. If you enjoyed this review, to all my supporters, give it a like. If you didn't like this review, to all my haters, give it a dislike. Yeah, I'll know what to do. But either way, thank you for spending your time day and night by viewing me, watching me, enjoying me right here on YouTube as I try to give you the absolute best content I can give you as yours truly, Natural Born Driller. So y'all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself and everything that's going on in the world, wear your mask, love one another, God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. Out for now, because I am out of here. For it's the Natural Born Driller saying peace on the streets. Y'all take care.